Welcome to the Weeb Lounge. This is our review of a game that is supposed to be a remaster, a remake of the original Blaster Master from the old NES days. That would be Blaster Master Zero. Now, Blaster Master Zero, it does stay true to the original Blaster Master, and believe me, we want it to stay true, but it's only to a degree. I don't know. The original Blaster Master for the NES was one of our all-time favorite games, like absolute favorite. The music, the gameplay, the graphics, everything at the time, it was just immaculate. Blaster Master Zero, we were really hoping to pretty much revisit that, correct? And did it do it? Yeah, let's go into the storyline real quick. The basic premise of the original Blaster Master was boy has pet frog falls down hole, boy goes in hole after pet frog, finds tank. That really does kind of sum it up. I mean, you really got nothing more than that. That's what it was. Frog in hole, guy in hole, find tank, get out of hole. That's kind of pretty much the basics of it. Now, Blaster Master Zero needs to take a modern spin on that, tries to clarify, tries to give a bigger world feel. So basically what happens in Blaster Master Zero is humanity has gone underground due to an ice age and has to spend a few hundred years underground living it out. While they're down there, they build this massive underground ecosystem to where humanity can thrive, they can advance their technology, etc., etc. The ice age ends, humanity comes back to the surface. Using all that technology that they developed, they ended up creating a much better world. They were able to clean everything up, do whatever it is that they had to do in order to make the planet perfectly livable. But during that time, not long after they came back to the surface, like this meteor or whatever kind of crashed into the planet, right? Well, it didn't really do anything to the ecosystem. It didn't really cause any harm, so nobody really thought anything of it. And then, a few hundred years pass or whatever. Turns out there was something aboard that meteorite, right? Yeah. So one day, Jason, a genius robotics scientist, of course he's a genius robotics scientist, right? Comes across this weird looking frog. He decides to take the frog as a pet, named it Fred the frog. And Fred the frog all of a sudden opens up a wormhole, goes in it. And Jason, being, this genius robotic scientist, of course, he just jumps right into the wormhole. It's perfectly logical to just jump into the wormhole that a frog summoned. Yeah, we're not too sure he's actually so bright. Anyways, Jason finds himself in a little cave area with Sophia the Third, the tank. Again, kinda. So basically, frog goes in hole. Jason goes in hole after frog. Jason finds tank. But Jason knows where he's at. Jason knows he's in the underground area that humanity had built hundreds of years ago and abandoned to come back to the surface. But when he gets there, he's surprised to find that it is still active. It is thriving. There are robots everywhere and there are mutants everywhere. So he takes a little bit more of a scientific approach to this, decides that he needs to find Fred, this frog that summoned a wormhole, investigate, figure out what's wrong down here, and along the way, he comes across Eve. Eve, the original pilot for Sophia the Third. Sophia 3, the third. It's the tank. I don't know which one I should call it. What it is. Sophia the Third doesn't sound right. But anyway, she's the original pilot, and apparently she was created, but they never really say how she was created. Is she a robot, a cyborg, a homunculus, a mutant? They never really say. She just looks human. So I'm not sure what she is, but she's a nice person, man. So it seems. So basically, them two decide to team up. They're trying to find Fred. They're trying to stop the mutant invasion of their planet, and they're essentially trying to save Earth. That's what they're trying to do. Oof. So basically, the story did expand to a lot more detail, but the premise is still the same. Frog in hole, guy in hole, find tank. And yeah, it is what it is. So, gameplay. How is the gameplay? The gameplay in Blaster Master feels identical to Blaster Master Zero. Blaster Master Zero feels identical to Blaster Master. The weapons, the tank itself, when you're outside of the tank doing the little top-down dungeons, it all feels the same. It's tried, it's true, it feels immaculate compared to the original. Now, graphics, I mean, it's an 8-bit game. What do you expect? You expect to have like 2 extra pixels on the screen or something. It's 8-bit graphics. They did it well, no complaints, nothing to worry about, right? I mean, I can't really say it's true to life or nothing. It's 8-bit. Yeah. So it does remain true. Like, you go around, you find the upgrades for Sophia, you find the gun upgrades for Jason himself when he's in the top down, you find all this stuff. They added a few things like extra little bars of health and little bonuses that you can find that were not in the original. They were actually kind of welcome too, because it makes the game a little bit easier. But the problem is it makes it a little too easy. Now, graphics, meh. Gameplay, great. Music, my God. The music from the original Blaster Master is some of the best music in any NES game ever. The music fit the stage. It brought you into the game. Every single stage, the music just suited. It fit. It was perfect. But now, in this one, the stage 1, they did a slight remix of the original music, and it was great. I liked it. But after that, the original music's gone. What happened to the original music? The music, I don't know if they thought they could do better. I don't know if they were trying to improve. Maybe it's remixes, and I just can't tell because they're just so poorly done. I don't know, but the music is gone. Okay, the stage 1 music is there. The rest of the music is gone. Even the opening scene with the tank, where you see the back of the tank and it zooms out, right? And it goes into, it's launching into its adventure. It's starting the adventure. The original Blaster Master, the music, it started right there. It flowed into where it said stage 1. It flowed into the stage itself, and it was like this single, flowing, awesome, epic moment. They tried to do the same in this one, but they tweaked that first bit of the music, and it just fell flat. You didn't get that feeling that you're off onto an adventure. You got the feeling it's like, okay, the game started. That's kind of disappointing. So, they really did mess with the music way too much. Way too much. Now, in terms of difficulty, the original Blaster Master is known to be really difficult, okay? There's no forgiveness in that game. In this one, unfortunately, there's a lot of forgiveness. A lot of forgiveness. Now, I found myself, the original Blaster Master, the first stage, it's kind of a gimme. You're going to get through that without any problem. But after that, the original one, it scales up. This one, I didn't have any problems whatsoever until like stage 7 or 8, and then it was kind of, I can deal with this. It's fine. Basically, the difficulty level of this one is nothing compared to the original. The original, you didn't have save spots, you didn't have passwords, you didn't have anything like that. And this one, it saves it before every boss. It saves it before everything. You could just come back. I mean, the difficulty difference between the two is night and day. This thing is not difficult whatsoever. And even as this first boss, as you're watching me, just look at the mother brain just melt. There was nothing to it. The original, at least you had to interact, or the original, there was this little cheat where you hit it with a grenade and pause it right when the grenade hits, and it'll continue taking damage while it's paused. In this one, you just hit the button really fast and you win. Okay, that's pretty much how most of the bosses actually sum up, unfortunately. So, music, graphics, gameplay, I like it. Graphics is what it is. It's fine. Music, they completely botched it. They could have just copied the original tracks, brought it over here. It would have been fine. Instead, they trashed it. They trashed the music. And that's one of my biggest points with this game is I loved the music. Said that before. I'll say it again. I love the music. Ugh. So, with all that said, would I recommend it? What kind of rating would I give it? Well, we give ratings based on Uwu Kitties or Weeb Cats. And we give a rating of up to 10, 10 being, gold, go get it. This is super, nothing will ever touch it, to 1 being, burning garbage in a field of burning garbage. You get the gist. 1 to 10. This one we're giving it 7. 7 Uwu Kitties. Now, the reason we're giving it 7, we would have gave it 8 or maybe even 9 if they kept the music proper. They didn't keep the music proper. The levels, they toyed with the levels too much. The levels are not to the original. The first stage and a couple bits here and there are from the original. Okay? They messed with it too much. They moved a whole bunch of stuff around, and they even changed the look and feel of some levels completely. So, we have to dumb it down to a 7. If they left the music and or levels alone, it would have got to 8. If they would have left the levels alone and the music alone and just upgraded, maybe could have got a 9. There was the slight possibility of this game getting a 10, but they just toyed with it too much. Only get 7. And I could keep going on, but I'm going to have to end it there, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification button. We stream right here on YouTube. We stream over on twitch.tv/The Weeb Lounge. Be sure to check us out on social media, and we will see you in the next review.